All right, 2.1 linear and quadratic functions. And modeling. First problem, say determine which are polynomial functions. For those that are, state the degree and leading coefficient. For those that are not, explain why not. So number 2, I've got f of x equals -9 plus 2x. Why is this doing this? All right, so is this a polynomial function?
Hello, Mrs. Quinn. Hello, Mrs.
Yes. No, but she's doing something for me. She's just not currently in my room. She's in the kitchen doing stuff for volleyball. Yep, thanks. Bye. All right, is this polynomial?
Yes.
Yes, it is. What is the degree?
To the power of 1.
The degree is 1, because whatever the highest power is. And the leading coefficient? 2. 4, f of x equals 13. Is this polynomial? Yes.
Whoops.
What is the degree?
Wait, I'm so lost.
The degree is whatever power is on x. If there's no x, what does the degree have to be? Then the leading coefficient is 13.
Wait, why there? What? There's no x.
Yeah, there is.
This is confusing. Oh, is it polynomial because there's that kind of.
Let's be honest, you did not know that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
I was shocked that you knew it.
So we're just gonna stop talking.
6, k of x equals 4x minus 5x squared.
Stop really bad.
Is this polynomial?
No. Yes.
So how do we know?
It is polynomial.
Which one is it?
No.
No.
Why is it not a polynomial?
Yes,
That's 2.
because the first one. Yeah,
It is polynomial.
Everything is polynomial.
Y'all are trying to confuse me.
What is the degree?
2.
2.
Leading coefficient?
5.
-5.
-5.
-5. Alright, so the way that something is not polynomial is if it has a negative exponent and that could even be something as saying like 1 over x is not polynomial because this is the same thing as x to the -1. The other situation where it's not, or at least that you're going to potentially have, is if it's a radical or a fraction exponent. So like square root of x or x to the 3/4. Those things would not be polynomial.
go over the degree stuff.
Degree is whatever power is on x.
Well, yeah, I just didn't understand why the degree was 0. Oh yeah, you said because it's x.
Because
Oh wait, no, that's not what my question was. Why was it a polynomial?
Every other, that's.
because it doesn't have one of these two things. Is there a negative exponent? Is there a radical or a fraction exponent? So it's polynomial.
For some reason, I thought polynomials were there were several numbers.
Nope. All right, write an equation for the linear function f satisfying the given conditions. 8. F of -3 equals 5, and f of 6 equals -2. So what this means is that I need to use this information to find the slope and then to write an equation of the line. But what I'm given is f of x is equal to y, so I need to turn these things into an ordered pair. So this is the ordered pair -3, 5, and this would be 6, -2. How do I find slope?
Oh. y1 minus y2 minus y1.
So -2 minus 5 over 6 minus the negative, so plus 3 would be -7 over 9. Now I need to write an equation of a line. How do I do that?
Y minus y1, or
Which one do you want to use?
you can use the -3 one.
This one?
So minus 5 equals -7 over 9 in parentheses x plus 3.
Yeah, minus negative, so plus 3. You can leave it here because it doesn't specify what form it has to be in, or we can take it all the way to slope-intercept form. So this would be in point-slope form, which is a perfectly fine equation of a line. If I want to take it to slope-intercept form, I'm going to have y equals -7 over 9 times x minus 7 over 3 plus, I'm going to go ahead and put this 5 over 3, so 15 over 3. So y equals -7 over 9 x plus 8 over 3. So this is in slope-intercept. I don't care which one you leave it in. But if you take it all the way to slope-intercept and you did something wrong, but your point and slope is right, I'm not going to give you all the points because your final answer is wrong. So just be careful however you decide to do it. Let's see. Same thing, number 12. F of -4 equals 0, and f of 0 equals 2. So my points are -4, 0, and 0, 2. How do I set up my slope? So I get a slope of 1/2. I want my equation of my line.
Y minus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 0 2 x.
So y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Any questions on writing equations of lines? Been doing this for a couple years now, so figure we know what we're doing. Just presented differently than what you've had it presented as before. describe how to transform the graph of x squared into the graph of the given function. It says to sketch them. We're not doing the sketch part. So number 20. We've already done some of this stuff before, but h of x equals 1/4 x squared minus 1. So what is happening to this graph?
Vertical compression. By 1/4.
It's compressed. What else?
Down 1.
Down 1. H of x equals negative 3x squared plus 2. What's happening with this one? Stretch.
Reflection and then up 2.
Stretched, reflected, up 2. Alright, the next thing is to find the vertex and the axis, which is the axis of symmetry of a graph. These ones will be of the form f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k for the purpose of what we're looking at. The vertex, if it's in this form, is at hk. And the axis of symmetry is a line at x equals h. So, number 24, g of x equals negative 3 times x plus 2 squared minus 1. So what would my vertex be of this one?
Negative 2. And then 1.
So we've got to watch our sign. So relating to this one up here, this is supposed to be a negative sign. This is supposed to be a positive sign. So this, like you said, is negative 2. But this one is the opposite of what it should be. So this one is negative 1. So the way I remember it when I'm in this form is that the x coordinate is always the opposite sign of how it's given to me. The y coordinate is always the same sign of how it was given to me. So this was a positive 2. So the x coordinate is negative 2. This was negative 1. The y is negative 1. What about my axis of symmetry? Yep, x equals negative 2. Taylor called me and she was like, "Where's Virginia?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, she's doing something for me."
When I walked through the water, I saw her there. I was like, oh, I totally forgot.
Oh well.
Thank you. Alright, 26. Same thing. G of x equals 2 times x minus the square root of 3 squared plus 4. What's my vertex? Square root of 3
And 4.
and 4. Yep. Opposite sign here, same sign here. Axis of symmetry. X equals square root of 3. Now we can still do this if they don't give us our equation in this form to start with. So if they give it to you in a different form, they may want us to write it in vertex form, which they do. We need to find the vertex and axis of symmetry and then rewrite the equation in vertex form. So 32 h of x equals negative 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. So this is A, this is B, and this is C, and remember that the signs go with them. Anybody remember what my equation is to find the x coordinate?
AX squared.
I'd have to look in your notes. It probably says h equals something, the way that it's in there. Did I not mark it? I didn't put show your work if they didn't show their work.
No, you did, but they just didn't.
Oh, you can go ahead and check the answer so that they have the right answers. But yeah, I was debating what I was going to do about that, but I want to make sure they have the answers at least.
Okay.
All right, what'd you say?
H minus B over 2A.
So it's negative b over 2a. So negative times negative 7 over 2 times negative 2. So that's going to end up giving me negative 7 over 4 is h. So that is the, of my vertex, that's the x coordinate. How do I find the y coordinate?
C times A H squared.
Yep. So k equals c minus ah squared. So if I plug that in, I would get negative 4 minus a negative 2 times negative 7 over 4 squared. So I've got it's negative 4 plus 2 times 49 over 16. So that's going to become an 8. This is so negative 32 over 8 plus 49 over 8 gives me 17 over 8. Usually they're not like annoying fractions like this, but sometimes they are. So 17 over 8. So this would be the vertex. What about the axis of symmetry?
X equals negative 7 over 4.
X equals negative 7 over 4. And then I need the equation in vertex form. How would I write that? You may have to go back to your notes and look at vertex form.
F of x equals 2x squared.
Negative 2. So it's just, the A is just the number. So A is just negative 2. And then what?
In parentheses, negative 7 over 4 minus. Wait, no. Yeah, negative 7 over 4 minus.
I'm missing something. Negative 2 times what?
X
Now what?
Plus negative 7 over 4.
Well, it would be minus, but this is a negative, so it's going to be plus 7 over 4. Then what?
Squared.
Square it. Now what?
Plus 17 over 8.
Yep. So this would then be in vertex form for that equation. Do we need to do another one of those? Or are we okay on that? Plugging it in. Good? Okay. The last ones in this section say to describe the strength and direction of the linear correlation. So they've given you a scatter plot. I'm just going to draw it approximately. I'm not going to put all the labels on the graph. I just want you to see what they've given you. It looks something like this. So in your notes, I had given you, I think, like 5 little scatter plot graphs. So how would you classify this one in terms of the way that I gave them to you in your notes? Strong negative. So if it's positive or negative is always determined by like what the slope of the line is if you were to draw a line kind of in between the points. As far as it being strong, weak, or moderate, it's how tightly packed the dots are together. So these are pretty tightly packed, so I would say strong negative. 48. Doesn't look exactly like that, but it's close enough. How would we classify this one?
Little or no correlation.
Yeah, little or no correlation. And that's it on that. Are there any questions about any of this at this point? All right, your problems are 1 through 9, every other odd. 19 through 31, every other odd. And then 45 and 47.
Just go on chapter, not chapter, quarter 1 or quarter 2.
Well, these are due tomorrow, so.
Wait, just check it.
Well, I think you should have time to get these done. So yeah, they'll do tomorrow.